I was at Pikeville Hospital the other day, going through the Children's Hospital, and somebody walked by, and I was just like, hey, hello, how you doing? And I was like, oh, Merry Christmas, because it's just, after a while, it gets normal. And I just don't, I'm Santa Claus, and but I got a Merry Christmas. I don't, hi, how you doing, normally, but I gotta add the Merry Christmas because it normal, after a little while, you get just used to it, because there's not a few months a year that I don't put on real clothes. I mean, I'm Santa Claus. I mean, it's just what it is.
Merry Christmas.
My name's Jason Freeman, Santa Claus of sorts. Well, out of high school, I had a friend reach out that they were doing a church in Rockford, and they were needing a Santa because everybody was family, and they knew who the Santa was the previous year. They just knew who he was. So I started fake beard, little church in Rockford, Tennessee. I did it for 2 or 3 years just for that, and realized it was something I liked to do. I could hide behind the thing. Nobody knew who I was. I started branching out and doing some things. And back then I was getting some stuff. So, and then just dropped off, had a kid, pulled my beard down in downtown Knoxville. And I was like, no, I'm done. I don't need that on me. That's just terrible. So I didn't do it no more after that. And we were moving one particular time, and I found my suit, and I grew a beard out for, popcorn Sutton. He did himself in, so I grew my beard out, and just kind of in homage of him. So I put the suit on, walked by the mirror, and I was like, something's up with that. And I did about 1.5 to 2 years of research, and, grandmother always threatened me with a little bit of money, so she's wanting me to buy a house, but I bought a real fancy Santa Claus suit. And she's probably pretty happy with me now, but she probably wouldn't have been happy with me in the beginning. So.
I met Jason in 2002, and then we were married in 2005. I had no idea that he had any interest of portraying Santa until about 5 years ago. And he purchased a suit, and I thought it was another hobby, because he's a hobby guy. He has lots of hobbies, and he buys lots of things for hobbies. So I thought, this is an interesting hobby. And here we are today. I kind of jumped on board with a hobby when he started scheduling things, and he had two appearances, and he goes, I'm gonna need your help. I'm afraid I'm gonna forget someone. I said, sure. So I handled his scheduling and payment and website and social media, and it just kind of grew and grew and grew. Once all of that kind of ramped up, and we noticed that in 2020 we were busy because a lot of the Santas are older, and so they were nervous to be out and around children with COVID and things. And so he was the one that they called on, because he's actually a younger Santa, and he wasn't afraid to go. He would have a mask if they wanted it, if the clients wanted it, but not if they didn't. And so he was appearing and got really popular. So then in January of this year, we formed Santa On Call LLC, a limited liability company. As Santa On Call, we do a few things. We have 9 Santas on our team and 2 Mrs. Clauses, and we travel all over the Southeast. We're not quite down to Atlanta, so a little bit north of Atlanta, but all the way to West Virginia, as far as the upper line, and then North Carolina, South Carolina, and then to Nashville, as far west as we go. So when we go, we offer a few things: photo shoots with professional photographers, in-home visits, or business appearances or corporate parties.
Oh, so sweet, guys. That's great.
Jason from Santa On Call contacted me in 2023, early in the spring. I had put out a feelers, just saying that I was interested in being a professional Santa Claus. And he came by, and kind of showed me some things, sort of took me under his wing, and gave me my first booking, actually. So Santa On Call has been a huge help to me. My moment was really early on. Like I said, Jason and Crystal came over, helped me with my beard, helped me get kind of an idea of what my Santa Claus was going to be. And then they booked my first booking, which was a birthday party. And that was kind of my aha moment. It was when I walked in and the little boy ran to see Santa Claus, and jumped into his arms. there was no going back at that point. Each Santa has his own background. I think knowing what your background is and believing in that yourself is the biggest step. There's no way that I can convince anybody else that I'm the real Santa if I don't know that for myself. I think the adults, most of the time, they're just as excited, if not more so. And if you think about it, it's, as parents, we're kind of pushing our kids towards Santa because we enjoy it so much. So yeah, I mean, half of my photos, I would say about 50% are with the parents, with the adults.
We're more excited than me.
The one that I talk about, and I've talked about it before, but there was a kid at the University of Tennessee. There is a theater named Clarence Brown. It's the Clarence Brown Theater. So I was at a daycare, and this little kid come up. He was wearing an MIT shirt, and I was like, "Come up here, Mr. MIT." I said, "What's your name?" He said, "Clarence Brown." I looked at the teacher. The teacher nodded. I was like, "Well, what Clarence Brown, what do you need for Christmas?" He said, "A coffee maker and a Westchester." I said, "Like the dog?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you sound like a man that knows what he wants. So we'll see what we can do." And that's the top. I mean, there's a bunch, but that one was something else. Some of them will say stuff that's, that'll make you laugh and go on, but no, it's those type, I've got them, but now I've got them coming back, and I know them. I don't know where Clarence Brown is. Shout out to Clarence Brown. Drunk people and kids will tell you the truth, and all the time, every time, no matter what.